The world famous 2021 Litecoin rug pull. Is Polygon to the actual moon this time? And of course, Sailor buys the dip. Welcome to BPTV's News with Block, a daily look into the meta, crypto news, market analysis, and what is white hot and what is quite not, and all the other wild whispers currently shaping the crazy world of crypto. And do not forget to like and subscribe. Also hit that notification button so you do not miss any of the latest content from Block Party, covering all of our latest trade results / our bragging rights, the game-changing dojo sessions with the illustrious Pro Trader Reggie George. Remember, this is for educational purposes only, and maybe a little bit of fun of course, and not, I repeat, not financial advice. If you're on board with all of that, then enough noise and let's roll out. Well, I guess that's the noise that a rug pull would make. We'll start with some weird scenes on Twitter as Litecoin's official account posted and then deleted a tweet confirming a partnership with Walmart. We're awaiting the full story, but it appears that the hoaxers impersonating Walmart announced via a fake internal Walmart newsroom that the retail giant would accept Litecoin in October. The story really blew up when, and this is so weird, the official Litecoin Twitter appeared to confirm the partnership, linking it to the fake news article. Realizing their error, we assumed third-party managed account quickly deleted the tweet, and the news and the whole shit show sent the LTC price crashing. Devil's advocate here, and in fairness, the hoax was excellently executed, with major news outlet Reuters even falling for it. But how Litecoin let this get on their Twitter, and whether any sanctions will be imposed because the clear market shift the news created, likely the aim of the hoax at the end of the day, are questions that Litecoin needs to find answers to, and ASAP. Now, personally, I think this could have gone truly south, not just for Litecoin, not just for BTC, but the entire crypto space. We are lucky that the mainstream media outlets didn't really dig their hooks into this. Slightly less sexy, but this time real integration is however taking place over at Ernst & Young, one of the world's largest consultancy firms, who have announced a Polygon integration, allowing corporate clients to process blockchain-based payments on, the Ethereum mainnet. With Ethereum transaction speeds coming under the microscope being too slow, layer 2 scaling solutions such as Polygon have come to the fore. Integrating Polygon's commit chain solutions allows Ernst & Young to offer its clients faster and increased transaction volumes with, great predictable fees and settlement times. Extremely bullish news for Polygon. And we expect to see the coin price reflect this in the near term. So let's check out what the chart is saying. So we've got some great news with Matic, or Polygon, the crypto formerly known as Matic. I love this chart, it's really great. We saw a massive all-time high right up here at $2.69, and we have yet to come really close back to testing that again. We saw a horrible sell-off on that 19th of May, which is what stopped it, I think, from going any higher. Bounced straight back up, and then just this big sell-off continued. There, of course, is so much news in the pipeline for Polygon, that I just have no doubt that this is going to continue going up. And I think right now we're in a pretty good place to start accumulating again. We've just been rejected at this pretty key resistance, and the key resistance is looking around about $1.70. Rejection down to, all the way down actually, should I say, to $1.17. Great place to start picking up. As we can see, I think we're starting to have a little bit of a new upward trend line. Along with this coupled resistance here, it looks a little bit like an ascending triangle. I feel we're going to probably retest it one more time and then back onto this trend line before we see a really strong pump back up. I would approach this from a DCA nature and start to buy down incrementally. So pick up a decent sized bag now, I'd say. I think it's in a pretty strong position. Your next bag should be around about on the 236 Fibonacci, which aligns with this support line just here. Like I said in other market analysis videos, I like to buy somewhere in between the support or resistance to the closest Fibonacci, and that gives me a pretty solid position for a DCA buy. DCA, obviously dollar cost averaging. And then we go all the way down to the absolute kind of key pivot point, which is looking at get that drawn on. 61 cents or 62 cents, should I say. Anything below that, then I think we're kind of entering bearish season. You know, something truly wrong has happened in the market or to Matic. So after that one, you just let it free fall for a little while until we find a natural bottom, both with BTC and obviously Polygon, Matic, and then start to put in another buy. I don't believe we'll be getting down that far. I believe everything will be going pretty north pretty quickly, especially come October and especially come the expected pumps from Bitcoin. So let's have a look at some TPs and targets. The first one being definitely 1.618 Fibonacci, which takes us to a perfect slot on that resistance just there, which is $2.42 or thereabouts, and that will look to net us around about 86%. Now, yes, you can play a shorter term game here. I don't see the point in playing too much of a short term game with Matic because there's so much coming out, but you can use this first key resistance to make some nice gains of around about, you know, if you get out $1.62, 63, you'll get about 23%, which is not to be sniffed at, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I don't really see the point in playing it too short term with Matic. My absolute longer term goal, and probably when I'll be looking to exit more or less most of my positions with Matic, would be right up here at the 2.618 Fibonacci, which takes us to about $3.50. I think that's quite a nice solid psychological resistance, and that sits around about 170%. That's again a pretty long term. I don't know if we'll see that this year. We could see anything this year, depending on where Bitcoin goes and how much money comes into the market. But yeah, aim for around about those guys. An Irish guy I always used to say every time before he had a drink, get it India. And we're going to talk about India right now. Haha, dad jokes. Another India-based blockchain project, Hedera Hashgraph, has appointed the Indian Institute of Technology in Madras to its governing council. 39 global organizations that run initial network nodes. Back in May, IITM researchers launched a blockchain-based phone app called BlockTrack that helps users and organizations manage and digitize medical records. Continued development and innovations like the BlockTrack app are a hope for the ongoing relationship. Now, with news such as this, obviously it's going to be quite a reflection of the price, so let's take a look at how the chart is looking right now. So let's take a little look at HBAR given all of the fantastic news around it, and it's not surprising that we're seeing a new all-time high, and we have just got all the way up to 47 cents, thereabouts kind of thing. So that is pretty incredible. Now, with any all-time highs, you want to be a bit conservative with going in too heavily, so I would absolutely look at potentially getting a market buy bag around about now, but quite a small amount. And then we could potentially expect a bit of a rejection. If we do, then I would be aiming to pick up further bags. I like to trade my kind of actual support and resistances alongside Fibonacci's, so somewhere in between, you know, 4150 and also down to 3894, so somewhere in between there to pick up the next bag. And then here lands pretty perfectly as well, somewhere between 3451 to around 3421. Can be a bit flexible there, and then again down to about here as well would be my next buy at around about let's say about 23 cents. And then finally, last buy would be all the way down to here, which would be around about 14 cents. And beyond that, I think, you know, we're looking at some pretty bad news into a very heavy bearish season, so I'd wait to find the actual bottom of when Bitcoin or HBAR starts to return to norm, although I don't expect us to be seeing that. Let's look at the other side of it and where it might be going. And that is, get my chart back in check. Based on the Fibonacci is basically what we have right now. We're going to be looking at our first target of 6397, which would give us around about 40% target, and then the stretch target, which would be getting closer. And as you can see where that Fibonacci is starting to lie as well, very close to that $1, which is, in my opinion, probably where I'd look to exit my entire position if we get up to $1, as I feel there'll be a tremendous rejection around about there. Obviously that's far off, but you know, if you want to hold it for quite some time, then that would be a great stretch target. So bear that in mind, to make sure you DCA nicely, and you should be able to get some great returns from HBAR in the near future. Next up, we are talking about, you guessed it, Michael BTD Saylor. BTD, buy the dip. Bitcoin maximalists MicroStrategy again announced another huge purchase of the digital asset with another 5,050 BTC being added to their now 114,042 Bitcoin pile. Reminiscent of Smog guarding his treasure from those naughty little dwarfs. After buying 3,900 in August, Michael Saylor's firm is now clear leader in the list of publicly traded firms holding Bitcoin, and this is reflected in their share price increasing for the firm of 49% year to date. Well, all we can say is praise be with you, Saylor, and please continue buying the dip. For now, let's take a little look at the Bitcoin chart. So here we are again looking at Bitcoin, and of course in the last 24 hours we saw that ridiculous pump and dump from the Litecoin Walmart false partnership. However, we're going to pretty much ignore that completely as it is not reflective, I think, of regular market movement. Interesting that we operated within these two upper and lower boundaries, all the way down to 43,400 and all the way up to 46,884. Now we remained back inside this descending triangle, going up, then down, and then up again, and we've somewhat broken out of this kind of region, which was about 45,437, gone up and been rejected at this pre-drawn on resistance, which was 46,000. Expecting some sort of like kind of psychological milestone like this to see some sort of issues breaking through, as you can expect. Now, I do believe that there is a bit of a reason behind this pump, which has to do with the Apple keynote going on today. So I think there's probably a fair few speculative buyers. Now, with speculative buying, there can also be speculative selling as well. If we don't hear the news that we want, then they will get out of those positions pretty quickly. That being said, if we don't break above there and go back down here, that's not such a bad thing, because we'll just be retesting this downward trend line and then pumping straight back up. I am feeling relatively bullish, as I did notice that we have a unfilled weekly pivot right up here. And also I believe that our absolute max at the moment is going to be around about 46,900 as the max, as I feel in this territory just here in the key support resistance zones labeled on there, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled sellers ready to get rid of, disgruntled buyers should I say, ready to go unload their Bitcoin due to that annoying pump and dump which just happened. Can't believe I'm actually saying pump and dump on Bitcoin. Anyway, that pretty much summarizes where we're at with Bitcoin today. We're not looking too heavily overbought in any circumstance. We're trading quite a nice little breakout at the moment. Stay positive. I think we can see around about a 2% rise from here before the next kind of key correction, rejection, or sell-off. Although it's not all plain sailing, or is it? Another major fund choosing Bitcoin as a store of wealth is the Miller Opportunity Trust, a value fund headed by billionaire Bill Miller. See what he did there? Outlining their approach, the MOT said, with gold's market capitalization greater than 11 trillion, Bitcoin's current cap close to 600 billion would have to go a long way to catch up. We are early in continuing adoption curve and Bitcoin will be volatile, but we think the risk reward is attractive. It's no secret that all of us think that Bitcoin is going to be the new gold, but now it's important for all of these big funds to start thinking that as well. Now, we love talking and teaching crypto, so hit the like and subscribe buttons and whack that notification bell so you can catch all of the latest tutorials, strategies, potential moonshots, hot off the press. We have a bunch of other services from trading channels, automated trading bots, the best performing on 3Commas, may I add, the Wild West Dex channel covering ultra low caps, airdrops, staking ops, new tokens, ICOs, IDOs, I don't quite know, but I'ma buy it. One-on-one sessions with pro trader Reggie George to whip your portfolio into shape, and finally the elite, the powerhouse, the one, the only, the Alpha Pro Trading Indicator Suite, all included in the premium package because we're nice like that. So check it out at www.blockpartytrading.com, and of course find us in your usual social haunts on Facebook, Insta, and also Twitter. Till next time guys, and remember, patience pays.